Hello, everyone. Our world is covered in water, a big, beautiful blue ocean. It's so important for all of us, but it has some problems. So today, we're going to talk about our oceans and how we can all help be their guardians. Here's what we'll look at. First, we'll see why our big blue world is so special. Then, we'll talk about the problems the oceans have. But don't worry, there's good news too. We'll see the plan to help, how learning can make new protectors, and finally, what you can do to make a difference. Okay, let's dive in. Part 1. Our big blue world. To understand why we need to protect our oceans, we first need to see just how much they do for every single one of us. So let's ask a really simple question. Why are our oceans so important? The answers are pretty amazing, and they affect our lives every single day. Well, for starters, the ocean covers more than 70% of our planet. That's huge. It's a home for so many animals, from tiny fish to giant whales. It also gives us things we need, like food and even medicine. And it helps keep our planet's weather just right, which is super important. But this beautiful ocean has some big problems. In our next part, we're going to look at the main things that are hurting the ocean and all the animals that live there. One of the biggest problems is all the plastic trash. So much plastic goes into the ocean every year. This is really bad for the sea animals. They can eat it by mistake or get stuck in it. Another big problem is something called overfishing. This is when we take too many fish out of the sea faster than new baby fish can grow. This makes it hard for the whole ocean family to stay healthy and balanced. And our world is getting warmer, and that's changing the ocean too. When the ocean water gets too warm, it's very bad for the coral reefs. They get sick and lose their beautiful colors, turning all white. Okay, so things sound a little sad, but there is a lot of hope. Let's talk about the plan. In this next part, we'll look at the big goals that countries all around the world have made to help our oceans get better. The plan has two really important goals. The first goal is for 2025, to make the ocean much cleaner with a lot less pollution. The next big goal is for 2030, to protect 30% of all the oceans. These are big goals, but they are so important. So, how are we doing right now? Well, today, only about 8.4% of the world's oceans are protected areas. So that's where we are starting from. And our goal is to get to 30% by 2030. So when you see those two numbers, you can tell we have a lot of work to do in the next few years. So how do we get there? Well, a really powerful way is through learning. Let's look at how education is helping create a whole new group of ocean guardians. And this is happening all over the world. For example, in Australia, there's a program called Creative Koalas, where kids use art and play games to learn about sea animals. And in Europe, more than 500 schools in the Blue Schools Network are working with scientists on real projects to help the ocean. How cool is that? Okay, this brings us to the last and maybe the most important part. What can you do? You don't have to be a scientist to help. Even small things can make a really big difference when we all do them together. Here are 3 simple ideas. 1. Just keep learning more about our amazing oceans. 2. You can help keep beaches or rivers clean. Every little piece of trash you pick up helps. And 3. Just talk about it. Tell your friends and family what you've learned. Spreading the word is super powerful. I think this quote says it perfectly. A future with healthy oceans full of life isn't just a dream. It's something we can start building right now, just by being curious and taking small steps every day. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one small step that you can take for our big blue world? Thanks so much for listening.